Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. A lot of people were asking about Naveen, can you please prepare one video on Zera end to end, how to set up complete Zera? Because a lot of people, they are new to IT field, they really want to get into IT and they have no idea that how exactly we use Zera practically in real-time projects. And then they really want to know some terminologies like generally we use in Scrum and we use in Agile, and then how exactly we set up those things. And as a QA point of view, as a project management point of view, as a dev or engineering management point of view, how exactly we use Zera for that. So in this complete video, it will be a long topic because I don't want to cover a complete series out of it, because so one single video will help you out. You don't need to go anywhere, no documentation, nothing. I'll try my best to give you the practical knowledge that what exactly we do in most of the product companies and good companies where people are using the agile methodology and Scrum over there, and how exactly we can set up the entire Scrum framework, the dashboard and everything, how to write the test cases, and everything. We will try to do that in Jira, right? So I hope this video will be really helpful for your interview point of view. And then if you really want to get to know that how exactly we work in real-time projects, this video will surely definitely help you a lot. So this is you can see on my screen that this is a Scrum cheat sheet. We will talk about what are the different tools. I mean, terminologies generally we use that. We will be using only one tool, that is Zera. We will be getting 14 days of free account on Zera Cloud. But before that, we really need to understand that what do you mean by Scrum? What do you mean by different terminologies that we use in Scrum? And then you are totally confused that when you're going through a very lengthy documentation, it's totally confusing how exactly we are doing it. So Scrum cheat sheet is, I have, you can see on my screen, and we will go through one by one each and every point over here. As we know that Scrum is a kind of framework actually in agile methodology. And earlier we used to have waterfall model where we have to get the requirement from the stakeholders and from the business, and then development will start, and the requirement analysis will start, and development will do the development, and then it will be given to the testing team, and then testing team will take their own time, and then it will be deployed to the production, and then the maintenance will start. So this is a typical waterfall model that we have earlier seen that. But in agile, in a Scrum framework, we have to create small short iterations or a small milestone that we have to achieve, and those iterations are called a sprint. So Scrum projects are organized in short iterations during which the team means the QA team, the dev team, the PO, the engineering team, right? The actual team will start working on it, and then to add incremental value to end the product. So ultimate target is for us that we have the one product that we have to deliver to the customer on the production. So that is product means here I'm talking about a specific software or application that we have to develop. Now this application can be in the form of backend, it can be in the form of front end, it can be a mobile app, it can be web portal or web application or any API framework that we are developing. We have to give it to the customer end of the day. So we have to keep adding more and more iterations, and then we have to keep adding the values over there, and then we have to complete the task, and then quickly within that particular sprint, let's see, we have 2 weeks of a sprint or 3 weeks of sprint, we have to finish those tasks, and then we have to get it delivered to the customer. So obviously we need some roles, right? Different users will be using and will be participating. Different team members will be participating. It could be a PO also, it could be a Scrum Master also. So one important guy is that in the role section, that is the PO guy. So this guy is the product owner. He actually represents the customer interest, and he will take the requirement and everything. He or she will talk to the different stakeholders, the business team and everything, and prepare a complete backlog, right? So those backlogs we will try to store in Zera. And then the core responsibility is that the communication with the stakeholders, and then it will deliver the same thing to the engineering team. Now we have one more guy that is called the Scrum Master, SM, right? Scrum Master, you cannot say is a product owner. Scrum Master facilitates a Scrum application and communication between the team and the PO and other different stakeholders. So this guy will take care of that. Okay, any integration is happening or not, the proper whatever the task that is assigned to the from the PO to the engineering team, or any dependency that we have on some other different teams. For example, let's say you're working in Amazon, and then you have some dependency on user management team because the user data is coming from that particular team. So we have to do a lot of integration between two teams. So this is Scrum Master and this is Scrum Master, they will make sure that, okay, the integration is happening and the communication between two teams and the PO and the other PO and the business is happening properly. This guy will make sure that, okay, you are not blocked. So that's a core responsibility of this guy with respect to the Scrum application. So that's why the Scrum Master plays a very important role in Agile. Then the third team that we like, the core team, the engineering team, it would be a QA team, it would be a dev team, right? So they will make sure that, okay, cross-functional group means either it can be QA or dev. They will start together, they will organize to meet and to achieve the sprint goals. And their core responsibility is that we have to deliver the value. Now, see this, guys. The Scrum is not about only for IT. It can be applied for any different domain. Like it could be applied for any specific product also that you are developing in manufacturing, or any finance domain, or any specific IT domain also. You can do that. So it's not about, it's a global and it's a generic framework to make sure that, okay, we have to deliver the best product to the customer, and in which the three guys, the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the team that we, the QA and the dev team, they will participate to make sure to deliver to the product. Then we called iterations. Iterations means the sprints. Okay, I hope you can see this, iterations. So Scrum iterations are called sprints. So iterations and sprints both are same. Planned and run one at a time. Usually it takes 1 to 4 weeks. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to have only 1 week of a sprint or 2 weeks of a sprint. You can have 4 weeks of a sprint also. It's totally up to you, up to your team, how exactly you really want to follow the sprint. So generally we have 2 weeks of a sprint, and then we have to achieve the specific target that we have designed for that. We have to achieve a target within that particular sprint. So iteration means the sprint, it could be 1 to 4 weeks. Then we have to plan for the estimations. Estimation means must be done before every sprint. Obviously, it's not like once the sprint is started, then we don't need to estimate. We have to estimate before the sprint is starting. So then we have to do a lot of sprint planning and everything. We have to number of story points that we have to give. So we will talk about what do we mean by arts versus point over here. So either in arts or story points, we can give that. For example, let's see if I say that you have to develop a login page, and then you have to make sure that, okay, you have to develop the forgot password and the reset password also, and then the home page. So accordingly, dev and QA and the PO, they will sit together in the sprint planning, and then we will decide at how much time it will take, how much efforts that we have to put. So that unit is actually called an estimation, and it can be estimated in the form of hours also. Let's see, 4 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours or 12 hours maximum we can have it. And then we can define in the form of the story points also. Let's see, the story point one means it's a very small task that we have to achieve, or maybe 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, like that, we have to achieve that. So like this, we have to give the story point. So let's say someone has given 9 story points or 11 story points. It's a big story. That means there are so many tasks are designed in that particular story. So we have to cover those tasks. So it's a huge application and huge task given to me, and 2 people are working on the same story point, on same story. So in that case, it will take time. So on the basis of the efforts, how much time it will take for the QA point of view, for the dev point of view, for the configuration point of view, for environment setup point of view, and all other things that we have to consider in terms of buffer time and everything. On the basis of that, with our gut feeling, we give, okay, fine, we will say, okay, 7 story point or 9 story point, like that. Okay. Then the scope limits. The scope limit is very important. The amount of work the team is going to do is limited by sprints. So whatever the scope is defined within that particular sprint, I will not go beyond that, okay, scope, because that's very important. Otherwise, I'm not going to do some extra work for that or something like this. Whatever the scope for this particular sprint, I'm just have to be strict with that particular scope only, right? Now see this, the task size. The one task should fit within the single sprint. So what we have to do, we have to create a story, right? A story having a multiple acceptance criteria. We'll talk about what do we mean acceptance criteria means. This is what I want from the customer side. This is a requirement that I have written. And under this particular story, we can create multiple tasks. Task number 1, task number 2, task number 3, like that. So one task should fit within a single sprint, usually split into small tasks if exceeds 12 hours. If you have more than 12 hours of task, we can divide, okay, fine, I cannot do everything in this particular task. Let's create one more task over here, and let's create one more task over here. So one sprint can have multiple tasks. I mean, one story can have multiple tasks for sure. Then we have a task assignment. So on the basis of the capability, we have backend team, we have UI team, then we have the QA task is available for the QA team. So on the basis of that, we will try to assign. So these 3 guys are there, QA, dev, and the PO. On the basis of that, we will take, okay, fine, team self-assigned tasks by pulling them from the sprint backlog. We will try to take some a user story from that and from the backlog. And then backlog is a kind of pool where number of requirements, number of The product requirement is already designed by the PO. And then on the basis of that, let's see, this is my sprint number one. In this sprint number one, I'll take, okay, fine, these are the 10 user stories that I'm going to cover. And out of 10, this will be assigned to this guy, this will be assigned to this guy, QA sprint will be assigned to this guy. So like that, we have to do the task assignment and everything, right? Now, the one important thing that we have to understand here is that new task in iteration. Once the sprint is started, it means, let's see, first day, January, 1st January, the sprint is started. No new task can be added because the sprint is already started. We have already estimated about it. We have already decided that, okay, this is what we are going to talk about it. So this is what we have to make sure that, okay, after this, once the things are decided, we are not going to take anything further over here. So and that is the new task in iteration. Generally, we don't allow that, right? Now, we have different types of meetings. That's very important because there are 4 important meetings, or as we can say, sprint ceremonies that we have to perform, like sprint planning. You must have seen it. Okay, we have a sprint planning in every 15 days or something like this. So this is a session for the team and the PO to determine what will be done in the next sprint. Because obviously, let's see, the sprint, this 1st January, we started a sprint and which is getting ended on 15th of January. So before 15th of January, we have to sit together. All the PO, QA, Scrum Master, engineering team, they will sit together and they will decide what exactly the things that we have to take in the next sprint. So we will have half an hour session or 1 hour session or 2 hour session to make sure that, okay, these are the things that we are going to cover in the next sprint planning. So, right. So that is called a sprint planning that you have to attend. It would be, it depends, 1 to 2 hours sprint planning. And then we will make sure that, okay, yeah, these are the things we have to take in the next sprint. Then you have a daily Scrum. It's a kind of a 10 to 15 minute stand-up call. We say that, right? I have a stand-up call. So early in the morning when you go to office, 9 o'clock, 9 to 9:15, we have a stand-up call where team members, we have to present what exactly we have done from last 24 hours and what exactly we have to do in next 24 hours. And so all these daily Scrum, what is exactly the criteria, what we have to speak, everything is actually defined in the Agile manifesto or Scrum manifesto. So generally we say, okay, fine, this is the 10 to 15 minutes of a stand-up, and it's not mandatory to have it, but it's up to you. You can, but you should not have more than 10 to 15 minutes of stand-up. Make sure that, okay, you have to give your status, what exactly you have done in last 24 hours and what exactly you're going to do in next 24 hours. So this is something important for point of view, for interview point of view. What are different ceremonies, what are different meetings that you have to attend in a sprint, okay, in Agile. So we say that, okay, yeah, sprint planning and then a daily Scrum that we have to attend. Then we have a sprint review. That's very important. The team, a presentation of the sprint results to the PO, checking if set goals were met or not. So obviously the PO is the guy. So PO will say, okay, fine. Hey guys, this is the number of requirements that we have. The sprint 1, we are going to take it. Task has been assigned on 1st of January, right guys? And then today is 15th of January. We have to give a demo to the client. Client means to the PO for us. So we have to make sure that, okay, yeah, that we are giving all the demo and everything. So QA will, maybe QA or dev, they will decide, okay, yeah, this is the sprint that we have covered. And these are the features that we have completed. So these are task demo that I'm going to give to the PO. And checking, we have to make sure that, okay, all the acceptance criteria, whatever the requirement, the goals and everything were met or not. So that is called the sprint review that we have to give that. That's very important. Then the 4th meeting is that sprint retrospective. Retrospective means we have to discuss between the team and the Scrum Master. So Scrum Master will talk about that what exactly went well in the last sprint and what exactly went wrong in the last sprint. Like, are you having any concerns about it? Do you feel that no, the estimation was not up to the mark? It was like overburden and it was like overloaded tasks that given to the engineering team, and then we could not make it possible because of that. Estimation was not up to the mark, or maybe a requirement was not up to the mark, or maybe we had some dependency of some other teams and they were not responding. That's why we could not complete the task, and then we could not manage the timelines and everything. So whatever the concerns that you have to give all the concerns to the Scrum Master, and the Scrum Master will make sure that, okay, yeah, these are the important retrospective points that I have gathered. And then we have to make sure that in the next sprint, we have to improve those things. So that is called a sprint retro. So planning, Scrum review, and the retro, that you have to make sure you have to attend within the particular sprint. And it's a daily routine activity that you have to attend the daily Scrum call, a sprint review once in a while, sprint planning once in a while for the next sprint and retro. Once the sprint is over and about to over, then we have to decide what exactly went well, and then how can we improve, and then what are the achievements, and then any awards and something, some reward we really want to give to the engineering team or the PO, something like this. We can give that in the retrospective. Okay. So the next thing is the prioritization. The prioritization means you can see the priority number 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first product backlog is used to prioritize user stories and to give clear direction to the team. So we have to prioritize that on the basis of ranking. The product backlog is used to prioritize the user stories. And we have to give the clear direction to the team that this is what that we have to achieve. This is the most important, the business priority for us. And these are the things that we have to cover, because in the product backlog, you have hundreds of requirements, but some requirements are not up to the mark, and we can ignore those requirements. As of now, client is also not very much sure about that particular requirement. So we can just make sure that, okay, yeah, that's not important to us, but we can say, okay, this is my 4th priority or 3rd priority task or user story. I'll pick the important priority task over here like this. So on the basis of that, we will prioritize with the PO, and then we will proceed further accordingly. And then we have one dashboard. That's dashboard is very important. In dashboard, we have to make sure, okay, these are the product backlogs that you have. We have number of hundreds of requirements we have. And then we will take, let's see, around 10 in the sprint backlog. And let's see in sprint number 1, right? In sprint number 1. And then we will decide, okay, fine, this is in progress. It means we are doing it. You can say this is in progress also. And then whatever that is done, that is completed or done after the demo, we will mark it, okay, yeah, this particular story is done, actually is completed. So let's see, out of 10, you have completed 8. And then 2 is not completed. There's still some blocking issues, or we could not get time, or dev could not get time, or QA could not happen properly in that case. So we will move this particular story to the story or sprint number 2, actually in the next sprint. So same story will be move to the next sprint over here like that. Fine. So this is the kind of a dashboard that we have to prepare, and it will be visible to the entire team members in the Zera. So this is called your Zera dashboard for your project. So let's see, your project name is order management system or user management system, Zera dashboard, and it will be visible to all the PO, dev, and QA, your engineering manager, and the stakeholders. If you have it within the team or within the company, they can quickly see that what is the progress of the sprint. We can just monitor each and everything from there like that, right? So that is your daily routine activities that you have to see the sprint dashboard. And then whatever the sprint is assigned to the respective developer D1, this is assigned to developer D2. So on the basis of that, we have to make sure that, yeah, this is under my name, these are the stories are pending. These are tasks are pending. Let's say I'm a QA guy, I'm an automation guy, or I'm the functional tester. The story is completed, but the QA is pending. So I have to make sure that the story is completed, and I move it to the doing it, and then moving to the done over here, so that we can just achieve the better result in the sprint. Okay, then you will see that usually a combined out of 4 sections: product backlog or prioritize the user stories, as I told you; sprint backlog for the planned tasks that we have already planned. So we will take out of 100, let's see, only 10 we will take it. It's not like all the 100 we are going to take it. Doing for the task in progress, and then for the completed task. These are the 4 major status that we have to follow in the dashboard. Then you come over here. These are terms that we have to use it. One is the product backlog, as I told you, that the first column on the board, right? So let's see, I'll just prepare the board over here. So this is the first column. This is called the product backlog, that holds all the prioritized user stories and represent the project plan curated by the product owner. Okay, let's see, this is for next 6 months or next 7 months, or this is my half-yearly plan or yearly plan or a quarterly plan. Is everything is written over here, and then we have to pick the user stories from there. So as I told you, sprint backlog means a place for the team to divide the selected user stories into clear tasks and prepare for the sprint, right? So from the backlog, we have to pick some user story to the sprint backlog. For example, if you have 100, so let's say I'm taking 10 backlogs over here in the sprint backlog. Now the sprint number 1 started here. Perfect. And then on the basis of that, we will do what? We will do the planning. So this is the planning started. And then we will start giving the story points. So a measuring unit used instead of hours to estimate task duration. One story point can stand for any period of time or task size. As I told you that we have to give the story point, it could be like this: one story point or three story point or 5, 7, 9, 11, like that. So generally it's a Fibonacci series. We have to follow that. And then you can say, okay, yeah, that's a very minimal effort, one story point or 3 story point. So dev QA people, they will sit together along with the PO and the Scrum Master. And on the basis of that, we have to give the story point. And then finally we say, okay, fine, 10 stories and having around 60 story points like that. So it means 6 story points we have to cover within this particular sprint, right? And then I told you that the user story is a short description of the feature that a customer is asking for, like a kind of requirement or kind of acceptance criteria. So generally we say this is my acceptance criteria, usually written in the form of, as a user I want to log in so that I can see my home page, or I want to search for the results so that I can see the results, like that. So in this particular format, we have to write the user story. The developer, sorry, the PO has to write the user story. We can also modify it. We can also contribute, and as a QA also, the dev also, they can also add some story points, and then acceptance criteria points also we can write it. And we have to follow this particular format. So I'll show you those. Then the burnout chart. Burnout chart means shows how the number of uncompleted tasks is getting lower. So we'll talk about what do we mean by burnout chart, how to prepare that. So we will say, okay, fine, this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. So we will see that, okay, yeah, what are different uncompleted tasks against the number of time that we have left. On the basis of that, we will prepare one burn down chart, and then a number of issues that we are still pending, and then how many things that we have already completed. On the basis of that, we will prepare one graph. Okay, fine, this is what we've planned actually, but we have achieved up to over here. So this is the completed task that we have achieved, this section, and then this section we will compare in the form of burn down chart. So I'll talk about it, what do you mean by burn down chart, and properly in very detail, okay, later on. Then we'll talk about the team. What is the team velocity? The team velocity defines that how much product backlog effort a team can handle in one sprint, right? So let's see, it defines team velocity, that how good you are, like in terms of the product backlog. It will talk about your efforts of a specific team that can handle in one sprint, at how much product backlog you can take it. Your team is really well enough, well designed, and then very well balanced between QA, dev, backend and the UI developers that you are having it. So on the basis of that, you are taking the task, and then you are, most of the tasks that you are completing it. For example, let's say you have taken a 60 story point and you have completed 60 story points on time. That's perfect velocity that we have to calculate. And then let's say out of 60, but you have achieved only 20, it means 40 is still missing. Then on the basis of that, the team velocity will be calculated and decided. So these are the important things that, guys, you have to, this is the like overall picture that I have given to you with respect to the Scrum cheat sheet and everything. Now what we have to do, think about it, that we have to manage everything. We have to define the process, the tasks, the story points, the epic, the backlog, the product backlog, the stories. We have to prepare a lot of charts, estimations, number of iterations, sprint planning, the dashboard, number of roles we have to design. Then we have to move the task from backlog to the in progress to the done or complete, or a lot of things that we have to do. That it means all these management that we have to do. So we need a tool, right? So that's why Zera comes into the picture. Zera comes into the picture in terms of complete project management. Complete project management in terms of dev, in terms of QA also. In Zera, you can do many things. Like you can define all these processes, tasks, and everything. The complete Scrum, you can achieve that. Complete Agile, you can achieve that. In Agile, we have other frameworks also, like dynamic programming, XP, and then Kanban methodology also we can follow that, and Scrum also we can follow that. We will see those things as well in future. But Zera is a main tool, and then we have to make sure that everyone is using Zera on a daily basis. So Zera is like is your all-time friend, in your company, that you have to work with Zera all the time. You have to open your Zera, log into Zera, and then check these are my assignments and everything. As a QA guy, you have to make sure that you can write your test cases with the help of some plugins. You can execute your test cases, you can create the stories, you can write one test case against one specific user story. That also you can do that. So we will see practically No need to go with the theory and everything, and you don't need to go with any other tutorial, guys. I'm pretty much sure that with this thing, you will get to know how exactly work in real-time projects, and how to set up the Zera, how exactly work within Zera, how to write a test cases, acceptance criteria, and it's very, very straightforward, very simple. So you don't need to worry about it. It will help you for your interview point of view as well as for your uh, project point of view also when you join a real-time project. Okay, so without wasting our time, let me show you the Zera part now. So what we have to do, go to Google and then simple write Zera login. As I told you that Zera is um, Atlassian is a company name, and you can just directly go with there. And then you can see that, okay, start with start.atlassian.com or Zera project tracking software. Also, you can go with this particular link as well. And then here you can see that, first of all, that if you really want to practice, it will give you one free account for the 14 days. And on their cloud, you can just simple create your account and everything, and then you are just good to go. It's 14 days. It's absolutely free of cost. You don't need to add your credit card also, nothing. Right. So what we have to do, let's say Zera software, and then simple get it free. So simple click on get it free over here. And then it's saying Zera software, select a second product that you really want. That if you really want a Confluence page or Zera service management, I don't need this. I simple want only and only Zera. So let's see, simple click on next, and it's saying no credit card required. So you can set up your own Zera and everything, and then simple continue with your Google account, or you can sign up with the email also. So let's see, I simple continue with my Google account. So they will give you the Zera software. So you can see, okay, I have some Google accounts over here as well. So let's say I'm just going to log in with this user. You can just go with your own account, whatever the account that you have, your Gmail ID and everything. So you can see full name and email ID is there. Create your account. So it will create your account on Zera. And it's very, very straightforward, very simple to configure it. You don't need to install any single thing. No need to install Zera software, nothing. Okay, so I'm taking some different name this time. Let's say I'm taking Naveen, automation, labs, YouTube, something like this that I have taken. And then after that, you click on, you can see it's a green color. It means this site is available. Actually, you can use this particular site name, and then again click on. So this time it has gone through. You can see it's absolutely working fine. It's saying what type of team you want to work. So whatever, let's say IT support, operations. So I'll say, okay, software development. And what's your role? So whatever the role that you are using it, let's say I'm the QA engineer or QA manager or web developer or designer, DevOps, software engineer. So I'll say, okay, software engineer. What are your main tasks? So I write the code, project planning. Also, I do the data management. Let's say I'll select everything, documentation. So fine, I'll select everything and then click on next. So they just want to know what kind of work that you have so that they can personalize the account accordingly. And then it's saying help us to set up your Zera. I'm new to Zera experience. So if you're new, you simply select that. If you have already used Zera, you can just select this one. So let's see, for the new beginners, I'm using new to Zera. And my team is experienced with the Agile methodology, but I'm new actually. So I'm using this option here. And we spend our time working on features, supporting operation or fixing bugs. So we have to use features because we are not into supporting operations or only fixing the bugs. So we are going to develop the features, and we have a tight schedule to finish our work, or let's say flexible schedule to finish our work, and click on next. Once this is done, then you have to add the project detail over here. So simple add the project detail. So for example, let's see the project detail that I'm going to use, Naveen automation labs, something like this I have added. And this is the key, NAV key is added. And what kind of a template that you want. So you can select the template over here. So it's saying Kanban or team manage or something. So let's just ignore that. You simply click on create project. Okay, and select some tools now. We will help you connect them later. So let's say I really want to connect with my Slack or Microsoft Team or something like this, or maybe a GitHub or the Jenkins. You can select the important ones and then click on next. You can skip also. And then after that, bring your team along this. So you can just add your team members also, invite your team members also. So I'm not going to invite anyone. Simple click on continue. And once you continue, here you can see the complete Zera software project detail. You can see that if you really want to take a tour, you can do that. Otherwise, explore by myself, just click on it. and just simple dismiss this quick start. So this is what you are getting it, and you can see this is your account, personal settings and account settings. You can check it over here, and you can see this is a free 14 days trial. Okay, you are having the standard plan for 14 days, so you can practice for your interview point of view before going for the interviews or before joining the project. Now, couple of things, guys, we have to do that. So we will go to the project, and then we will see this is a project here. So you can create another project also. If you're working on multiple projects, you can create that. So let's say this is a project, you can see all the projects, and here you will see the project settings. So I simply click on project settings, and then I'll go to the first thing is issue types. When I go to the issue types here, and see it's loading the page. So right now we have epic, task, and subtask, but where is the story? Right, I'll tell you what is the difference between user story and the task. But first we have to click on add issue type. We have to add some more issue type. Let's say I want to add the bug. What if I want to raise a bug? How will I raise it? So that option is not available. So we have to configure it for the bug, and we have to configure for the story also. So let's say I'll just first add the bug, click on add, and here you can see bug got added. And when click on add issue type, and then story also you select, and then click on add, so that I can now create one epic, task, bug, story, subtask. I can edit that, right? So now we are back to our NAV board. This is your project board. How will you come over here? If you're working on multiple different projects, you can just simply go to the specific project board here. Let's see, for example, this is my board. Just simply click on it, and then you will see this is my project. The project name is Naveen Automation Labs. The short form is NAV board. Now we have to add the issue. Issue is not about only the bug or defect that we have to raise, that we have to create the stories, we have to create the epics and everything. So how to create that? So first you need to understand a simple hierarchy here, guys. So whenever we are working in the specific project, so let's see, this is my project name. Whatever the project is there, let's see, this is my NAV project. Under this particular NAV project, that we have to release multiple features, right? So we have the pools of features. Let's see, this is called a large epic, or one theme that I'm going to define that, okay, yeah, these are the different, this is the theme of this particular sprint. This is the, let's say we have to design a complete a login page or sign up page, or let's see the cart functionality that we are going to add. And under that functionality, under that major feature, we have to decide, okay, fine, this is a theme name that we have given over here. So some nice name that we have to give, that this is what we are going to achieve in this particular sprint. Then under this particular large epic, you can divide this epic into multiple parts. So for example, let's see, we are going to create the epic number 1. So epic is actually what? Epic is a collection of multiple user stories. So epic is always having very high level, I would say, the expectation in terms of requirement. So what exactly that you are going to develop and all such things, that what exactly the main feature that you are going to develop. And then under that epic, you have to create multiple user stories. So let's say I'm going to create one user story 1, and then I'm going to create user story number 2. So like this, you can create n number of user stories, and user stories are actually having the very detailed acceptance criteria and the documentation, that what are different things that you are going to develop with respect to dev point of view, with respect to QA point of view. If you have any UI requirement or any UX requirement that you have, so you are going to mention all such things under this particular user story with respect to the acceptance criteria. You have to maintain that, right? So under this particular large epic, you can create one more epic, right? So under this particular theme that we have to fulfill, okay, fine, this is epic number 1 at a very high level, epic number 2, and under this epic number 2, you have user story number 3, user story number 4, like this. And then to fulfill those stories, we can create multiple tasks over here. Let's see, task T1, task T2, and task number T3. So what exactly the concept here is that the large epic, the theme that you have decided, this is at the product level. Okay, so I would say this is at the product level that we will work. The epic that you have decided, okay, fine, under this particular release, let's say release number 1, we are going to deliver this particular epic, right? So let's see, for the next the Q1 quarter, we are going to deliver this entire epic. and then we have divided into multiple epics under it. So this is the epic as a release level. Let's say release number 1. So this is at the release level. So I'll say this is at the release level epic that we have decided. And then when you take this particular epic, let's say this particular epic that you have taken in the sprint number 1, and under this particular sprint I have taken these 2 user stories. So these user stories actually you have to work at the sprint level. So we will say, okay, fine, this is what we have to work with the sprint level. And then when you're working on a daily basis, and then the dev team, the QA team, the UI team, the UX team, they are preparing their task over here. So this task is actually that you have to develop at a daily level, right? A daily level task that you have to complete to fulfill and to complete that particular user story. And once these user stories are done, and then this epic is actually completed for this particular release, and then we will release the product to the customer on the production. And once the sprint is over, when we will do okay, fine, that we will do the retrospective, and then we will start planning for the next sprint over here, like that. So that's why we have to understand that under this epic you can create n number of user stories, and then under that user story you can create n number of different tasks also you can create that, or under epic also you can create number of tasks here as well, right? So let's try to do this. How exactly we are going to do the exactly same thing in Zera. So this is the Zera project. We can see that everything you have to create from the create button. You can create the issue from here as well. So let's say I'm going to create over here, and it's saying that what is the first thing that you are going to define. So I'm going to define one epic. So let's say your epic, that the major epic that I'm going to define, that design, let's see, just taking some really good example, like let's see design login page features. So this is my feature name, and under this particular feature that I'm going to having some different bullet points also, you can write it over here. Let's say you have to design the login page design, and then I'm saying this is my login page backend also, the backend APIs also that you have to design. Then I can say that okay, fine, that you have to perform then a sign up page as well. Then you have to check with the reset password or forget password, whatever you want to do that. And after login, how exactly the home page is defined, or accounts page, or the user details, or I would say the user profile page also we are going to define along with that. So this is the overall the feature that we are going to develop in this particular sprint, or in this particular epic. And then you can assign to the specific user. Let's see, assign to me, and when you join the company you will see other developers or QA names also. You can do that. If you want to give a label, so let's say this label is about the login label, that you can write it here. And when exactly you're going to start with that. So let's see, I'll just created the epic. Maybe I'll just take this particular epic next sprint onwards. So let's say next sprint is starting from 16th of May. So I can select the future date. And then what is the due date? So for example, let's see, the due date is about 26, that I'm taking it like that. Okay. And if this particular epic is actually dependent on blocked by, or a duplicate of some other epic, or related to some other epic also, you can just define the respective name also, or give the ID also that epic. You can do that. Fine. And then after that, if you really want to attach some important files with respect to the requirement or any specific document that you want to refer, you can attach some conference pages, or some give the reference of your UX or UX UI or UX wireframes also. You can give that. And then after that, I'm going to click on create. So when you click on create, you will see that one epic got created. You can just come over here, click on view issue, and then you will see that this epic got created over here like this. Very straightforward. Perfect. Now again, you go back to this particular roadmap section also, and then you can define that, okay, fine, these are the, let's see, couple of epics that I've already created. Let's see, open card this, and then now we have created this. So you can create n number of epic from here. Let's see, now after that I want to create, that is the cart feature that I have to develop. So I'll start as a product owner, I'll start creating the number of epics over here. Let's see, I have to create the order page summary also that I have to create. Then I have to create that, okay, fine, this is a mail integration, right? This is another feature that I have to develop. So you can just keep creating the number of epics under the roadmap. And then if you really want to give the roadmap, the future date and everything, you can check it over here, the description and everything you can write here, right? So let's see, these are number of epics that I have created. Again, I go back to the board. When you go back to the board, And then here you will see that you can directly create the issue from here as well. You can select the epic, like what kind of epic that you are working upon. For example, the epic that we have created, let's say design login page feature that I have selected. And now under this particular epic, I don't have anything. Now I'm going to create a user story, right? Because this is the filter option and I don't have any epic associated with this current board right now. So let's see how to do this. So I simply click on create. And then for example, let's see, now I'm going to create a user story. So user story, I'm going to select, as I told you that the story is part of the under this particular epic. So to fulfill this particular epic, we have to say, okay, fine. Now I'm going to design. So let's see, this is the login page UI that I want to design. So this is the first user story that I have created. So we have to prepare the complete design and it will be assigned to the respective UI developer. For example, let's see, I'm the only developer. And then I can say, okay, fine, this is related to your login label if you really want to write that. And then if you really want to attach some wireframes or any designs or any PDFs or any something like this, you can just add it. And then you just simply say that this is the issue type is a story. Make sure that you have written like this. And then after that, what you do, you simply click on create. When you click on create, you will see that, yeah, this issue got created over here. So simply click on view issue if you really want to have a look about this particular user story. So here you can see that the icon with the icon itself, you can see this is a story. You can see a story. This is the green color icon. You can change the icon also if you want that. But in the settings, we have taken this one, change issue type. That is what that we have added. Now, if you really want to add the epic, so see, you can add an epic that under which epic that you really want to add this. So let's see, that is what we have created, this one. Okay, so now we can see that this actually user story got associated with this particular epic. Fine, right? And then you can see different other attributes also. If you really want to add some link issue or you really want to add some attached files or something, those things as well, you can do it over here. I'll do one thing again. I go back to the board, and under this particular board, now you can see that this login page UI under this particular epic got created. And then you can search number of epics. For the dashboard point of view, you can see that, so for example, let's say design login page feature. And then here you can see that the label also on the basis of that you can filter. And then you can see that, yeah, for this login page UI, this is the story name under this particular epic which is coming, and the story ID, the user story ID is NAV11. You can directly create the create issue from here as well, that what kind of type that you want to create. So let's say I want to create one more story over here. This time I'm saying this is the login page backend that I have to develop. It means I have to maintain some login APIs. I have to maintain that. So in that case, those APIs also you can design under the same epic. Like this, you can simply do that. So let's take one more user story. I'm saying sign up feature, the UI, and then let's see the UX task also for the sign up page that we have to develop. And then you can create this particular story. So you can see number of stories got created over here. You can in fact create a bug also. That also you can do that. So let's see, I'm just only creating number of stories. Let's say I'm going to create one more story that is for the home page, or let's see for the forgot password actually. So forgot password page also, the feature also we have to develop. So I'll say forgot password page. Fine. And then this is also got created. You can just simply click on this. Also one filter applied. Okay, fine. So you simply say that under this particular epic, all these user stories got created. Okay, so now I'll do one thing. Let's see, my sprint started, and then after that I'll move this particular login page UI, the feature, the story that we have given to the respective developer. So in that case, I'll start working upon it, and then I'll move it to the in progress. It means I'm currently working on it. And then you can again create an issue, and then you can create a task also to complete this login page UI. You can create a task. For example, let's say I'm going to create a task that my task is that login page fields that we have to prepare, something like this. Let's see, this particular task that I have prepared under this particular epic got created, right? And then you can go to the create section from here, and then you can create a task from here as well, that you can create that whatever the summary that you want to write, the task. Let's see, I'll say this is my dev task. and then I'll say this is my login page API get call, right, and the post call that we have to prepare. So this is the dev task that I have created for the API for the login. So let's see, this is what I have written, assigned to respective developer. If you really want to give a label, you can give that as well. And then if you really want to associate with the relates to something, select an issue, you can select the specific user story also. Let's see, it is actually related to your login page UI or epic also, you can select it over here. So let's see, I'm selecting that design login page feature. So this is related to this particular epic, and then you can just simply click on create. So when you click on create, you will see that one NAB16 got created over here. You can just simply see this, the view issue here, and see this is under this particular epic design page feature, and then it's under to do state, right? Again, I go back to my board, and then if you really want to select the respective epic, you can select that. It is always a good practice that you should select the epic so that you will have the clear view under this epic what are different things are going on. In fact, you can select multiple epics also. So for example, let's see, I'm going to select this one, and here you can see under this I have the login page fields. This is the task that I have created. You just mouse over, you will see task. This is the user story is going on like this. You can create number of tasks. Let's see, now I want to do a QA task. So once the feature is ready, then I want to say this is the login page test cases that I have to write for the testing point of view, right? The test cases design that I have to do that. So this is the task, and I'll say this is the QA task. So like this, so the QA team will prepare their own task, and then after that press enter. So you can see that, yeah. So under this epic, the number of tasks also you can create that. So let's say I'm going to create one more task. Okay, so let's create issue, and then I'm going to create another task here, that is let's see, a login page automation test that we have to write, and for the QA team point of view. So again, you have written one more task over here, and then as a QA guy, I have designed my test cases, and then I'll just move it to a done over here. And the login page UI is also ready, so I'll just move it over here. Login page fields also ready, I'll move it over here. And the backend guy also working on this, so he will start picking it under in progress. And then on a daily basis, we have to give the in my stand-up call, we have to give the status that what happened in the last 24 hours, what exactly you have worked, and what is your planning for the next day, and for today also what exactly you are going to develop. So I say, okay, fine, this is my login page backend API I really want to develop. And then meanwhile, okay, fine, if you find something interesting thing, you can just click on it, and then you can check, you can add some comment also. So let's see, I'll say that blocked due to user management team, or let's say due to UMS team, because you are calling their APIs and then they are not responding back. So that's why like the user management team is blocked by this. So you can just simply add a comment. Now it's your Scrum Master responsibility to make sure that, okay, you are unblocked now, right? And the task is, or the user story is still in progress. You can add a description also if you want to write that, okay, I'll simply say the description of this particular story is develop APIs for a login page like this. So simple, let's see, I'm just going to give a post call here, that the post user, then it will be the get user call also that I'm going to use it. Let's see, this is the get user information. Let's see, I'll simply write it like this, that okay, get user or something like this. You can just remove the, you can write it like this. For example, this is my get user call. Okay, it's coming as a bold here. So I'll write, let's see, this is my first bullet point, and then this is my login post user. And then I'm saying this is my login, let's see, get user like this, and then you can say this is the login update user, and then the fourth one I'm writing, this is my login delete user that I want to use that. So these are the 4 different APIs I am working upon, and you simply click on save, right? And then now that's this. Let me just close it. And now you can see that is the backend API feature is working upon. And the next day you are unblocked. Now you got the response from the UMS team. And then I'll say, okay, fine, my work is done. And then I'm saying, okay, fine, this is done. And then I'll say ready for the QA. Now the QA team, I'll say, okay, fine, this is the backend development work is done. So I make, okay, fine, this is still in progress or done also, you can mark it, and then you simply close it. So when you move it done, automatically it will be moved over here. And then I'm writing my some API task also, you can create that. So I'll say this is my login page API testing that we have to perform. So as a QA guy, I'll prepare this particular task, and once this is done, I'll simply move it to the done column. So let's simply click on it, and then I'll say that the QA testing is done, and then you save it and then click on done, and then you will see that this is also done. Automation test cases also, automation team has written some test cases, so I'll just move the things over here. Now we will start working on the sign up feature and the forgot password feature also. So likewise, you just keep creating the task and everything, and then you will move the task and the user stories to the done, and then you will see that, okay, yeah, then everything is actually cleared. It means that you have successfully created and successfully done and completed all your tasks from here, right? So like this, you can just create n number of stories and everything. But let's see you are working on some testing over here. For example, let's see, so you are doing some API testing. I'll move it back to the API test over here, and once again in progress. And then I found some issues. So how will you raise some issues here? So simply click on create, and here you have to select the issue type is bug type that I have to maintain. And let's see, something get API is not working, or let's see a user is not able to log in, something like this, and it's a post call is not working, something like this. So I'll just raise the bug with all the steps to reproduce. I'll write it that which API, the test data and everything, the complete bug that you have to maintain. If you really want to add some screenshot, you can add those screenshot, images, links, everything you can add it, assign to the respective developer. And then after that, if you really want to attach some files, that also you can do that. If you really want to check it is actually related to which one, so you can say that is actually related to, this is the API testing, but this is a task actually that you have created, but I say this is a story that we have. So this bug is actually associated with this particular story. So I'll just add the story here. That also we can do that. You can in fact add the epic also. For example, design open card, app login, and design login feature, this epic that we have created, you can just add this particular epic name also here, right? And then after that, you simply click on create. So you will see that a bug actually that we have associated here. So we can just simply go to the view issue, the bug that we have created actually, and here you can see that under this particular story, the login backend API, although this is done, so ideally it should not be marked done because it's having one issue over here. So you can change the status also later on. Let's say again back to in progress only. That also you can do that. And under this particular epic, you have this particular bug. So you can just associate the epic also because this bug is part of this particular epic. So you can just simply say NAV7, this is the epic. So what will happen? It will start displaying on the dashboard. So you simply go to the board now. And here you can see that this is a bug now getting displayed because you have selected the epic. You can select the epic from here. Let's see, design login page app feature. So here you can see that we have this one, user is not able to log in or something, that API call is not working. Now I'll just open that as a developer. I'll start looking into it. Okay, fine. This is associated with this particular user story. And this is a bug raised by some QA guy, and reporter is Naveen. You can check it over here. And then I'll say, okay, fine, the code has been changed and then bug is fixed. So I'll write, okay, bug is fixed here. Once the bug is fixed, I'll just quickly simple say that, okay, fine. Instead of this, it's saying, okay, in progress. And then I'll say, save it over here. Fine. And then you can see that, yeah, this is the bug. I'll move it to the in progress over here like this. So once this is done, then QA team says, okay, fine, just open that. On the basis of the comment, it's saying the bug is fixed. I'll say, okay, fine, this is tested and verified. So I tested again, and then I'll say, okay, fine, this bug is actually tested and the verified. Click on simple save, and then everything looks good. I'll just mark it from my side, the bug is actually completed, and move it to done. It means this bug is also completed now, and then you can see that bug is moved over here. So likewise, you can create n number of bugs, n number of stories, tasks and everything. And then when you see that, okay, yeah, under this particular story, as a PO guy, I'll just open that. And this PO guy says, okay, fine, this is a story having one bug. And this cross means, see, you can see the horizontal cross. Cross means this bug is actually working fine and then done. Right. And then I can simply move it to this particular done also, so that we can mark this is actually got created here, and then move it to the done. Login page API testing is also done, so I can just change the status once again from here. And then again, if you really want to add a comment, so I'll say that, okay, the story is complete, save it, and then from in progress to done, we can mark it. Now you can see that, yeah, everything started over here like this. I mean, everything is moved to the done part over here like this. Fine. So these are the various options. You can check it. You can create number of issues like that. You can just raise n number of bugs, and then number of stories, epic and all such things. Any extra information for the specific project that you want to add, you can add all these things over here. So I hope it's clear that how to add these number of issues in the form of epic, story, task and the bugs, how to create that. And this is how exactly the dashboard will look like here. Very simple language that I'm going to explain you guys that this is what is happening over here like this. You can simply go back to the roadmap. If you really change the roadmap, you can see this is under progress, this particular roadmap. You just simply open that, and once the roadmap, you can see that under this, you can see the complete child issues over here, right? That all the stories and tasks, everything is completed, looks fine. And then you can just simply say that the dev task also, if you really want to make it done, you can just make it done over here. So one by one, you can select everything is done. You can see 100% done is then all the child issues are done for this particular epic. It means this feature is ready. This epic is ready to be released. So I'll say this comment, extra comment, if you really want to add, you can just add a comment that this epic is done and ready to be released. Like this, you can do that, and then simple save it. When you save it, if someone wants to refer it, they can refer it. You want to change any other extra thing also, other extra task also, if you really want to add that also, you can add it one by one. And now you can see everything is in cross means all the child issues means all the bugs and user stories and the task, everything is completed over here like this. You can see the respective developer name. If you really want to change it, you can change that as well. Perfect. So okay, if you really want to integrate with the Slack channel, or delete this, or print it, export to XML, if you really want to configure it once again, you can configure it that as well. That if you really want to add some more fields like start date, due date, these are default fields are available. If you want to add some more fields, you can add that as well. So it's totally up to you that you really want to define number of attributes for this epic or not. Again, go back to the project settings. Okay, we don't need to change anything, but again, go back to your dashboard. This is your project dashboard. Perfect. So this is how, guys, we work in Jira with respect to the dashboard. Now we have seen that how to create these stories, epic, bugs and everything, and how to create a task, ticket and everything. But what is the exact content? What is the template? What is the format that we have to use whenever we have to write an epic or user story? So that's very important to understand, guys, that here if you can see a simple example that this is a theme. Let's say I want to add a wish list or add to cart feature. That is a theme of this particular epic. And then what exactly you want. So epic, as I told you, it's a very high level term that you have to use it, that as a customer, I want to be able to have wish list so that I can come back to buy products later. And then further, I have to create number of stories. Like, see, As a customer, I want to able to save a product in my wish list so that I can view it again later. As a customer, I want to able to view my wish list so that I can buy items from it. And then I have to create my task. For example, let's see, add to wish list button on each product page. We have to create that. So that is a task we have to create from the UI side, create a new DB from the backend side, from the database side, create page to display user wish list, and add view wish list link to home page from the UI side. We have to prepare that. So this is the dev and the QA team. They will prepare these number of tasks for the QA testing, automation, UI task, UX task, and everything. And then under these stories, they are coming from this particular epic. Now, how to write a specific story? To write a story, we should always write a format like this. What exactly are we doing it? What is the purpose of that? And then as which user that is going to use this? And then what exactly this user want? So that, and what exactly you're trying to achieve over here. And along with the acceptance criteria is very important. This is your conditions of satisfaction. So you can see this is a template that you have to follow as a role. Like it could be a user, it could be a seller, it could be account manager, partner manager. Let's see, for e-commerce application, it can be a distributor, seller, customer, category manager, product manager, right? So in that case, how exactly you are going to justify this user story for the specific user? So let's see, for example, as an account manager, I want a sales report of my account to be sent to my inbox daily, so that I can monitor the sales progress of my customer portfolio. And the acceptance criteria, I will accept this particular feature when the report is sent daily to my inbox. The report contains the following sales details, so we can provide some details also. And the report is coming actually in the CSV format or Excel format or whatever. So this is the acceptance 3 criteria that we have written over here. So under this particular epic, you have to create number of stories and number of tasks. Now let's see, this is a simple example of how to create a user story. So here you can see this is a story, and then you can add various other things like priority, labels, epic link. And this is the description you can see written over here, that as a merchant, I want to be able to add new product by pressing the add to product button so that I can add all relevant information to it. And this is the acceptance criteria that I have mentioned, that the merchant can find a button on the top of the right of the page, and then pressing the button will open the product creation model. How will you measure it? The time spent from the page visit to pressing the button. And if you really want to add notes like the implementation of the product creation model is out of scope, you really want to add some open questions, that also you can open questions like should merchant customer should be able to create products or something like this. Answer is yes. So product owner will discuss with the stakeholders and they will clear the doubt, and then you can write the open questions. You can just add more and more queries and questions. You can write it over here as well. So this is a short description. As a merchant, as a user, as a product manager, I want to do this. And then this is the acceptance criteria, and this is the measurement criteria. This is the note section and the open question. You can assign to the respective who is a reporter. You can assign to the respective developer or the QA guy or a dev guy. You can assign with that like this, right? And then you can start the create date and everything. And you can really want to see on the board, you can just click on it and then you can go it over there. Now let's go back to our user story. Let's create one more user story over here. For example, let's say I'm going to create a story. You can select the story from here, and let's say I'll write that another user story, that is the search functionality, something like this, that I'm going to write. Okay, so fine, and then I'm going to create this. So now you can see search functionality got created over here, but I don't see various fields like the priority, estimation and everything. So what you can do is that as acceptance criteria and all such things, that you can write it over here, and then you can just simply click on configure. If you really want to add some more attribute or fields here, you will see that create a field. If you really want to add a summary or some paragraph that you want to add, you can just write a paragraph also, just drop it over here. And then specific date also you want to mention, that you can mention the date as well over here like this. You want to add the labels, the label also you can add it somewhere over here. I think label is already there. And number, drop down, check boxes if you really want to add people, dependent drop down. And then you can see that time taking and everything, that also you can add it. And then there are other various things like drop down, a dependent drop down, paragraph, short text, date, and everything. You can write it over here. See, let's say I'm adding the priority also somewhere over here. So this is, I think, no, so priority is already added. It's saying the created previous created field which are already there. So let's say I just click on save changes, and the field name, if you really want to add, let's see the field name that I'm saying some open questions that I want to add it over here, and then you click on save changes. So when you click on save changes and again go back to the story, or you can just directly come over here and then you just open this particular story. Now you can see that assignee, reporter, labels, and all such things that you can add it. So let's say this is a search label that you want to add. You can create a new label also. You can assign to the respective guy, let's say to Naveen, and then any other things that you want to add, some comments and everything, you can check it here. Right? If you have any open questions, you can write open questions. You can write a description here as well. Right? So let's see, again go back to the configure, and one thing that we can, important thing over here, that is the original estimate. Also we have to add that from your other issue type, or add a field created by Zera or third party app. So I'm not able to add it. Okay, yeah, that's original, this one, due date, environment, start date, and the priority also I have added. And then you simply click on save changes. Okay, and then again you go back to the specific story, and then now you will see the better information, that how much time it will take, and then original estimate, and then due date also you can mention that okay, it should be completed by 13th, and this is the start date of, let's see, today, and the priority is like the highest priority for us, that you have to maintain that. So the various priorities also for that you can maintain, and then original estimate also you can write, that is, let's see, 5 hours or something like this. You can say, let's see, 5 hours or 2 days estimation that I have written like this. So like this you can just simply configure, and 2D remaining, it's saying that. So, and then after that, whatever the feature, same like in the same language that you have to write, and then you just add that as a user I should be able to search, I should be able to search for a specific product, and then the acceptance criteria also accordingly you have to write it. I'm not going to write it, guys. You can just write in your own language, and then after that you just simple save it. So when you see that okay, fine, the search functionality is started over here, and this is a sign that the highest priority, and he is a developer working upon it. And if you really want to create one more issue, the same template will be visible. So click on story. Let's see, this time I'm going to add something else. This time I'm going to add that okay, fine, I have to do the user registration page, right? User registration, and then you just simple click on it's a story, enter, and then you can just simple click on it, and then you can just add various information once again here. Same open question that you can write question number 1, you can write question number 2, just simple save it. Any comment that you want to add it. Environment also you really want to write that on which environment that you want to develop, or any specific thing that you want to detail, you want to write it, you can add that. Description, same way that you have to write. Same, the priority is the registration priority is the high priority right now. The start date, you can start from 16th onwards, and the due date is, let's see, 20 that you have to finish, and let's see, it's I would say 4 days task that you have to complete like this, and then assign it to the again respective developer. And the label also you can change it now. Let's say this is for the registration user like this, and then that's it. So reporter is this. So likewise that you have to configure your user story properly, and then on the basis of that make sure you are following the same format. This is a standard format generally we follow. It's not like if you're not following it you cannot create the story, but again this is a standard format that you have to follow that. Okay, so remember this thing, I'll quickly repeat. Under epic, number of stories, and then you have to create your daily task, the minute details, minute task you have to create, like create a DB, create a label, QA automation task, or manual testing task, or test cases task, and then add this particular button on each and every page. So various like number of tasks under that particular story you can create, and then other developers also they will be creating it, and then it will be visible over here like that. So that's why like the dashboard is like a very heavy in terms of full of stories, tasks, and everything, and then we will keep moving to the to do in progress to done after that. So done, generally we do it maybe after the demo. We can do that, or maybe once all the stories are done, then also we can give a demo to the product manager or product owner. So product owner also will cross check at the high level that all the stories that you have done, you have to give a demo. And then after that, for example, let's see the login page UI is done. So as a developer, what I'll do, I'll talk to my product manager that, okay, hey, this feature is actually done from my side. This is a demo that I would like to quickly show you guys. And then this is done. Same thing, search feature is working fine. I have given a demo, and then the product owner will move it to the done over here. Same thing, user registration. Now I'm going to pick today onwards because my search functionality is done. This feature is actually ready. Or if you really want to add some more things over here, you can just add it over here. Let's see, for example, let's say you want to create one task over here, you can create that, right? So let's see, I'm going to write, this is my registration test cases that we have to write. So this is a task that I have created, and then developer, they will create registration API. Then some other guy will create, okay, registration a button that I have to add. Then some other guy, okay, find the registration link that I have to create. Then some other guy, okay, find registration automation QA that we have to write. So these are the number of tasks that I have created. And then let's say you will click on this particular task, and then you can just label also and all such things that you can do that. And if you really want to configure your task also, that also you can configure it over here. See, there are other things also, same thing, the priority, the due date, estimate, environment, start date, open questions if you have for this particular task, that also you can do it over here. Let's see, dependent drop down also you want to add, that also will be added. And let's see, I create, this is my dependency if you have it, and then simple click on save. When you click on save, again back to this particular task, and the task will be opened, and then whatever the things that you want to add, other information, that everything you can just simple add it here, and write the description. So let's see, registration feature test cases we have to develop, and then you simple save it. If you have any open question, that also you can just add it. If you really want to add any specific issue, let's see, for it's actually related to the specific user story. Let's see, this is specific to the user registration. You can just simple link with that user story. So people will get to know, okay, yeah, for this particular user story, we have a specific task that we have added there. If you really want to associate with the specific epic, so let's see, overall that login page feature that we are designing, this is the epic that we have added, or let's see main epic, you can just add the specific epic also there. And then after that, let's see, it's still in progress. And then once the tasks are done after your demo, just keep moving the task to the done status here like this. And once all the tasks are done, then you can just simply move this particular user story over here. That's it, right? So when you open this particular user registration here, you can see it's associated with one task which is completed. So if you really want to add that, okay, fine, all these tasks are associated with the user registration, those things also you can do that. See, how will you do this? Simple click on it and link the issue, and then just simple come over here. It is related to which task? The user registration task. So simple say that, yeah, it is actually, this particular task is actually related to, you can just add the epic name if you really want to add that. For example, let's see this one, because we have already moved this story to the done, right? So that's why it's not showing it over here. You can simple link it with this. Okay, and then you can just simple say that, yeah, this okay, I don't want to move it to this. This is the done status for the epic, that is, let it be like this, but this task is actually done and completed over here, right? So likewise, you can create n number of tasks associated with that story, so that you will see the complete picture over here, that how exactly number of tasks associated with the user story, user stories are associated with one epic, like that. Perfect. So like this, guys, you can just add it, but make sure that you are following the proper format. You are not just randomly writing some one-liner description or only one-liner story you are writing, or one-liner acceptance criteria, where people are totally confused at what exactly this story is all about, what we have to develop. So acceptance criteria, your user story feature, summary, description, whatever you're writing, it should be up to the mark. The more and more information that you added, more open questions that you are asking, that will be good for everyone, right? So you have to make sure that you are clearing all your doubts with the product owner, a scrum master, and other team members together. In fact, Your dashboard also, you can customize it. So by default, you will be getting to do column, in progress, and the done. What if I want to add some more stages, more columns over here? For example, let's say after in progress, I really want to have a QA review. So you can just click on create column and then you can write QA review here, and then just simple accept that QA review. So you can see that one QA separate a column will be created and you can just drag it over here. Now let's see, after QA review, we want a PO review. So this is the next column or next cycle that I'm going to create, that is PO review. And then the PO review also, I'll just simple move it over here. So what exactly the thing that I'm going to talk about, that first you create a issue. Let's say you're going to create a story over here. For example, let's see, this is the story number 1. So I'm saying user story, let's see, for example, 101. And let's see any story, or let's write a simple name here. For example, let's see, I'm going to create, this is my add a product over here, right? Or add product or add seller along with the seller information. And then after that, there's a story will be created. So press enter. And then this particular story will be created, and I'll just move it to the in progress. And when I move it to the in progress, then I'm going to create some task over here. For example, let's see, I'm going to create one QA task. So this is the QA task that I have created. And then this is the dev story. And along with that dev story, I'm going to create, let's see, one more task. Let's see, this is the dev task that I have created for the developer. And the dev task says that, let me just enter. So dev task is completed. The QA task is also saying, okay, fine, this is also done. And if you really want to move it back, you can move it back also, that we have already discussed about it. Now, for example, let's say you open this particular story, and then if you really want to link issues, that also we can do that. And if you really want to add these tasks to this particular user story, that also we can do that. So let's see, add parent, you have to click on it. And then what you can do, that epic, you can select it. First of all, let's see, this is the login page feature, something like this. This is the epic. So epic, you can add it, but as a parent story, you cannot add it. Okay, fine. So what we can do, let's see, you simply click on this particular task, and then you can just click on link issue, and is actually related to which user story, so that you can select this is the add the product seller story that we have created. And then this task is associated with this user story now. Okay, that also we can do that. Same thing I'll be doing with this guy also. So link issue, and is actually related to the story is this one, and then click on link. And then after that, just simply closing it. So now we can see that if you really want to add as a parent epic also, that also we can select it. Whatever the epic name, this is the epic name that we have selected. So under this particular epic, and we have this story, and this story is having two tasks. So you can just again click on it, and then you can see this story is having two tasks. One is the QA task and one is a dev task. And this is what the description, that as a user is able to add a product and the seller information like this. Okay, I'm just writing a simple description here. Click on save. Perfect. And then once this task is done, I'm moving to QA task is done, dev task is done, and then the story is also done over here. So what I can do is that my task absolutely working fine, and then I can move it directly, all these tasks. If you really want to go for a PO review, that PO, they really want to see that you have written the test cases and everything, that also you can do that. Dev task, they really want to showcase some dev task, like some demo or something. They will be going through the PO review, and they mark, okay, fine, all your test cases is absolutely fine. And dev task also, I'll be moving it over here. And then this story, we will give a final demo to the PO, so it will be under PO review. And then you can see that the workflow got changed. Now it's under PO review here. You can see this is a PO review. You really move back to in progress or QA review, that also you can do that, right? So now in that case, after that, after the QA review, which the QA testing is, everything is done, then I can just simply move it back to over here. Right now, for example, let's see, again, it's under in progress. Then we will move it to the QA review. QA testing team will perform their respective task and everything. Once this is done, again, they will move back to the PO review, and then again back to the done status over here. So this is a like customized life cycle that you can create, that to do to in progress to QA review to the PO review to the done. Also we can do that. Some people, they create the development column also, they create that developer to QA to PO to done also, they will do it. So you can just customize accordingly as per your requirement for your dashboard. Now, for example, let's say this particular epic is completed, because whatever the epic that we have created, everything we were designing under this epic only. And then you can see this epic is completed. Everything is coming under done status over here. We don't have any pending task under PO review, QA review, or in progress like that. And if you really want to see the roadmap, simply go to the roadmap section, and then you can see this epic is whatever this epic that we have prepared. We just simply click on it, and then as I mentioned, that all the child issues like task, user stories, the bug, and everything is completed over here. Now I really want to pick some other epic, and then meanwhile I really want to, as a product manager or as a developer also, or as a QA also, I really want to add some more epic, or let's say I want to work on the existing epic. I really want to capture some user story, let's see for order page summary, so, or let's see cart feature. You can just simply click on create child issue directly from here. You can create the story from here also. Let's see which story that you want to create. So let's see add to cart button is the story name. And then I really want to say that the cart, okay, the cart count that you have to display. This is another user story that has got created. And then I'll say, okay, fine, that wish list. Okay, I'll write this is my wish list in cart. That is another separate story that I have created. And then I'll say that, okay, delete items from cart. Then I'll say that add items to cart. Then I'll write that update the cart items. So these are the stories that I have created under that particular cart feature, right? And then along with that, you can just simply create another task also. If you really want to create that, you can directly create it from here. So for example, let's see, this is the cart dev task that I have created. Then I'm going to create one cart let's see QA task that I have created, and then I'm going to create another task that is cart, for example, the UI and the UX cart for the UI development point of view. That also I have created over here. And then I really want to use this particular cart feature. So again, I go back to the board, and then you can select that particular epic. So you can see that I'm going to select the cart feature, and then now all the cart feature related user story, task, and everything will be visible over here. And then you can start picking this particular epic as well. If you really want to see that, okay, under this particular sprint, I really want to select all these epics and everything, you can just check what is the current status of all the epics. That also you can pick it. So here you can see that 11 out of 20 issues are already done for different epic. And then there are some other epic also which got added with respect to cart feature. So this is a highlighted feature, the cart epic feature. You can check it over here. You can just see this over here like this properly, right? So because in one single sprint you might have multiple epics, that is also possible, right? So let's see, in this particular sprint I have picked, these are the 6 epics which are visible over here. Along with that, each and every epic is having some user story and then task, and again the same process will start from here, in progress, and then cart count, and then wish list, and all other things. And then you have to start writing with the QA task and the UI UX card and everything. Once this is done, add to cart button is under QA review. QA review says, okay, yeah, I can create another task over here. For example, let's say I'm going to create another task, that is a test case design task that I'm going to create. That also is done. That is the main, under main epic or under this epic. So you can just update the task, or you can delete it also. If you really want to delete this, you can delete that as well. So now I'm not going to create any test case design, just remove this. So this is just to give you an overview that you can just add and other epics also. And then again, you want to come back, you can just simply come back, and then you can see the complete epic information under the roadmap. You can see it over here, and you can check that what is the progress of each and every epic from here. You can see that the weekly progress also, you will see that monthly progress and the quarterly progress also, and then today progress also we will see like this, right? So after that, what we have to do after that, there is one more section that is called development and the code section. When you click on it, and obviously when you're developing something and you are writing some development code, So you have to maintain some source code management. So that is a default source code management provided by Atlassian, that is a Bitbucket. This is just like Git repositories. If you are meant to maintain on the Git repositories, like say some other providers like GitHub or Git integration for Zera or GitLab, that also you can integrate with that. So for example, let's say I'm using the GitHub for Zera, so it will try to integrate with the with the GitHub. So you have to use this. This is a free app that which is available. So you have to get this particular app now. So simple click on get it now. When you click on get it now, it will start and then it will install in the form of app or in the form of plugin on this particular project. This is done, and then now you can see get started. So when you click on get started, you have to keep trying a couple of times and then the integration will happen properly, because this is totally third party environment. Now you can see connect your GitHub organization. So let's connect that. So when you click on it, then you have to enter the username password of your GitHub account. So I'm just going to enter my username password here. And see, you have to authorize Zera from the GitHub account. And then after authorization, then it's saying connect to a GitHub organization to your Zera site. And here you can say that no GitHub organization with Zera installed. Install GitHub for Zera or a new organization. So you just simply click on it. And then which account? I have two accounts actually, Naveen Animation 20 and Naveen AutomationLabs. So for example, let's say I want to connect with this particular Naveen Animation 20 for all the repositories or for a specific repository. So let's see only specific repository. You can select the repository name. For example, let's say I really want to select the repository name for Allure report Naveen AutomationLabs, and then you simply click on install here. When you click on install, and then you can see that I want to connect, so simple connect over here. And then after that, your Zera will be connected with your GitHub account. Very straightforward, simple integration. And then you can see this is in progress. So now you can see this is actually finished, and then that's it. After that, again you go back and then you simply click on Zera software once again here, and you go to your project actually from here. And here you can see that the still same dashboard, and you can simply go to a development and coding section here, and then you can see GitHub connected over here. Okay, so when you click on it once again, and here you can redirect to your specific repository section also, you can directly come over here. Okay, so now what we will do, we will try to explore a couple of things. For example, let's say I'll go back to this, and this is a card count feature that I'm going to develop. This is my user story, and then from this particular user story I want to create a branch. See, this is the development branch that I want to create that. So simply click on create the branch, and it will connect it with your GitHub. So it will check out this particular branch. So you can directly do it from here also, and then you can just simple copy and then start creating the branch from here. You can check out the branch directly from the GitHub. That I'm not going to talk about the GitHub and all such things. So you can just create the branch directly for this particular issue. See this name, checkout -b, and this is a branch name. NAV37 card count is the branch name. So you can create the branch and you can start working and developing the feature under this particular branch. So it will be associated with your Zera account or Zera number or the story number that you have connected, that you have raised over here like this. Okay, and once this is done, let's say I'm making it to done and then simple closing it. So this particular project will be associated. Okay, move to the done part over here, and let's see add to cart button also, I'm moving it here. So likewise, you can integrate with your development code repositories also. If you really want to have some other repository, those also you can do that. So that's all for this particular video, guys, because this is the overall structure that I have told you, that how to create the project, epic, user story, the life cycle, code management, project settings, dashboard, roadmap, and everything that I have created. But for the QA point of view, one more thing that we have to add here, that we have to start writing the test cases, like manual test cases that you have to write. How will you write it? Because Zera provides many plugins of that. So you must have heard about Zephyr plugin is there, X-Ray plugin is there. There are other various plugins also available that I'll show you in the next chapter, because that will be a very interesting learning, a quite lengthy topic it is. So we will try to cover one more video, and then we will try to see how to write the test cases, what are the different plugins from the app section that you have to download and all such things. So we will try to do that. So for that's it for this particular video. Now with this video, you don't need to go anywhere to learn about Zera or any training specifically that you really want to attend. With this video, you are getting like exactly same thing we do it in real-time projects. Here and there some differences or maybe some customization that they have done. So you don't need to attend any specific training for that or any paid courses for that. You are just like simple good to go with Zera, and then just that's it. So learn about it, practice once, set up your own account on Zera on Atlassian.net, and then you are just good to go, and you can just easily crack all the interviews. And it shows that when you are giving the answers like that, it shows that yes, you are actually working on these projects, you are using Zera real time. Perfect. But when you go through the entire documentation and everything, it takes a lot of time to understand each and everything, because you are very new to these terms if you are working the first time and you are a fresher or coming to the IT first time. So that's all for this video. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe to the channel, share the Zera video with others. People will get to know, and then I'll come up with one more video where we have to write the test cases, manual test cases and everything. I'll give you the complete overview about that as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and God bless you all.